Oh, wow. We are so late today. Oh, we're so late. Hold on. I got to boot up like 10 different programs right now. Sorry, I'm a little out of breath. I had to run across the apartment a couple of times. So give me just a minute here. Oh, we are like 30 minutes late. Oh, Gary, get your life together. I do have a very sore throat today, though, so I don't even know if I'm going to be streaming the whole time. My throat's been hurting a lot lately. I'm almost, I have to, like, be careful about the way I speak. I need to speak at, like, the end of my mouth where my lips are and not, like, in the throat, if that makes sense. If that makes sense at all. Hold on, I got one more thing to boot up. Boop, 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 boop. Then we got to link the Discord. Code Toil, hello, hello. How's it going, Artichokey? Okay, that's done. That's done. Let's turn on some music. Boom. Boom. Unmute. Make sure it's not blindingly loud. It's not. Okie dokie. All right, we're good. Woo! We are super late today, boys and girls. Wow, we are so late. Okay, let me quickly do one more thing. I'm trying to find like a not. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we'll just minimize me. Boop 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 boop. Hello. Oh my goodness, Code Toil. Hi hi. Jasm. How you been, man? It's been a hot minute. You learning your Java okay? All right, so what is the plan today? Well, the plan is we have a bit of an issue with our game at the moment. Let me, well, we don't have to zoom in yet. So the issue is, okay, we kind of do have to zoom in. So the issue is we changed our collision boxes to blue. The problem is look at the hitboxes. You guys see it? It's kind of hard to see, I guess, on your end, but the hitboxes are alternating between being correct and being wrong, and it's flipping 90 degrees every like part of the. You shoot out 200 bullets and every bullet rotates it 90 degrees, which is an issue because not only that, if you have a bullet down here, it's like diagonal. I don't understand that issue, because if we just render a bullet here, let me just comment all this out. Oops. If we just have, oh gosh, I don't even know, it takes so long to set up a bullet, but the idea here is that we are going to we're gonna have an issue here. I don't even know where to start with this. It must be under attack, right? Print out, of course. Ah! Okay, so here's kind of where we might be having an issue. This might be negative cosine, or sorry, -1. And then the other one is sine. Maybe that's the issue here. Maybe we just have an issue with like double negatives somewhere. Not it, but now it's shooting backwards. Everything's the same except it starts like, you know, 180 degrees to the left, but it's still the same issue. And negative sign would make it so it's not even on the right place anymore, right? Yeah, well, negative sign fucks it all kinds of up. Well, the thing is that attack only affects the rate at which it's shot or something, right? Not the actual. What am I doing here? Set collision angle. We have that under attack. Maybe we shouldn't be setting the collision angle. Then rotate. We already have the bullet. You already create a collision box for every instance of bullet already, so we know it exists. Set the velocity, set the angle, set position. Set position, what does that do? Set position moves it and it translates it. Maybe the issue is we need to set position after we set the collision angle. Maybe that's the issue. Oh, that didn't solve the problem, but it looks better. Maybe it is a rotate issue. Maybe we do go back to the square one. That or it's a translate issue, but I don't think it is. This is a really simple translate. It was just adding delta X and delta Y. I mean, you can't really go wrong with that, right? Super simple. We add both ways. So it does correctly translate, but it's the initial rotation that's all kind of goofy. And why does it alternate? Isn't that weird? Isn't that weird? Why does that alternate? Would it be better if instead of all this... Oh, no, that won't work. Negative sign, positive cosine is not interchangeable. You have to have negative cosine here. I don't really think it's the rotate to translate function. You don't think so? So it must be the attack call here. But we know it shoots. We know the Nova in terms of bullet count works out correctly. The problem is and the bullets are always facing the correct way. So it's not a velocity or angle issue. The problem is the collision angle is all kind of cattywampus, but all this does is just call the rotate collision angle function, which is this, but we've already fixed this. No, it's not set collision angle. Well, sorry, it is set collision angle, but it just, all this does is just call rotate collision angle. We know this works, I think. We know this works because we played around with it yesterday. All this does is change the rotation point. What if we just delete that? Does that matter? Yes, it does. But look at the collision boxes. It's so weird. The collision boxes are all like fudged. They're all like diagonally and sideways, and that's not correct. So if we did update the rotation point, then it correctly is on the bullet. It does rotate around a point, but the actual collision box alternates every shot in the Nova by 90 degrees. Isn't that weird? What a weird bug. What a weird bug. Why would it be alternating every bullet? Maybe it is the call attack. Does it do the same thing if I shoot out like 10 bullets? Yes, look at that. Isn't that weird? Look at those collision boxes. So it's correct at 0 degrees. Do you think the issue is, part of me wonders, do you think the issue is we're rotating the same rectangle? Does that make sense? So it's maybe not. This almost looks like a sine or cosine issue, because if you look on the enemy here, the first bullet is always perfectly, that is super annoying. The first bullet is always perfectly horizontal. The next bullet up at 45 degrees, well, here, we'll make it an even 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bullets. Make it an 8 bullets, so it's every like cardinal direction. Yeah, look how weird the hitboxes are. And there's like almost no rhyme or reason for it. It's like horizontal, vertical, diagonal. So the only two that I see are even correct are 0 degrees and 0 degrees and like 135 degrees. So what's going on here? It must be an issue where maybe print the rotation point in the angle of rotation to the console. I can, sure. So we will just see out. Nope. See out. M collision. No. Oof. Every instance of bullet, the only difference between them is the rendered and collision rectangle. The rendered image is correct. So I guess we should ask ourselves, what's the difference between the rendered image and this? Is it because we're not applying the velocity to it? That's the only difference. We're applying the angle to it, the same angle as the rendered image. We have a rotation point. And we have an M collision, which is what we update, and it returns M collision. So it updates every time we call this. Set position gets called afterward, which updates the render boxes. Oh, maybe we should set position first, because that will update the rotation point, and then we set collision angle. Or the render X and Y, and then we translate, and then we rotate. Maybe that's a better way to do it. So it's the same problem. The bullets are all kinds of cattywampus. I guess I could print the angle. So we would std see out angle. And it only does this once. Okay, so that... I wanted to pause it. Oh my god, the one time I don't want it to play when I undo it, the focus. Oh my goodness. Okay, whatever. It does its job. Okay, so we're shooting out only 8 bullets, so only pay attention to those 4. So what are we doing here? So this is the rotation. This is the angle that it's printing at. 90 degrees is perfectly horizontal. That is correct. Then 135. Oh, wait, what? Error. That is perfectly vertical. What's the order that these are printing in? So error is 0, 45, 90, 135, 180, negative 135, negative 90, negative 45, error for 0. Okay. Well, if that's the case, is that the issue? Oh my god, I get it! Oh, I get it! The way we load them into the vector is incorrect, I think. So what this tells me is because they're all jumbled up, the rotation box is applying them in a clockwise order or something, or not. But our, like, way we render the image is? Does that make sense? It's almost like we're not correctly loading them into the vector. Oh, that would make sense. In fact, now that I see the Nova, it kind of makes more sense. So 90 degrees is, well, hold on, let's go in order here. So this is, do we start from the top or do we start from the side? The bullet starts vertical and we set that and then we rotate, correct? So vertical, perfectly vertical is the starting point. So I think this 90-degree twist is actually horizontal bullet. So that makes sense, it's on the right side. 135 should be top left up here, and that's correct. Although maybe it could stand for negative 45 as well. 180 is the other vertical, which shoots out at the left side at 180 degrees. The fuck? What's going on here? Wait, these two should never be next to each other. Is this an issue with like the vector loading? It must be, right? I have the bullets loaded into the vector. Is it because we render them weird or something? I thought 0 degrees was straight to the right. I thought so too, but now I'm wondering if add 360 to the negative angles. How would I do that? Do I do it here? Isn't this where we have like sine squared or something like that? Is that would be the use of that? So it'd be this to the power of 2 and this to the power of 2 or something. Although I probably shouldn't do separate formulas there, huh? So what would we do here? Should we be like, if b velocity x is less than 0, b vel x is equal to b vel x times -1? And then we do the same thing for y. Oh. Oh, wait. Fuck. Now we're just shooting a bunch of bullets in diagonal. Interestingly, they all have the same collision box. I guess we do want these to be negative then, huh? So if we do want y and x to be negative to make the whole nova, is this an issue where like set position is like fucking up? Every angle results in the same point as an angle plus or minus multiples of 360 as the angle. What? Every angle results in the same point as the angle plus or minus some multiple of 360. Every angle results in the same point of an angle plus or minus some multiple of 360. Yeah, I wonder if the issue is this pushback or something where it's like we're not adding to the vector correctly. But the thing is that we do organize this by degree. So if there's 6 bullets, it's every 60 degrees, and then we push back. So it starts at 0. 0 times this is 0. Cosine of 0 is the velocity of x. Cosine of sine 0 is the velocity of y. And then we push back. So it should be in order, and it's the same thing with the collision boxes. There shouldn't be any sort of decoupling of like rendering the box from the bullet, but yet it's so jumbled. I wonder why. Well, let's look at it this way. Let's try that again, but this time... Okay, now let's look at it this way. Let's look at it where this is the starting point, and let's go from there. No, wait, hold on. No, this is the starting point. 90, 135, 180 is vertical top, like 12 o'clock, 10:30, 9 o'clock, right? That's how it goes. So vertical, or how about this? North, northwest, west, southwest, south, southeast, east, northeast, north. So this is indeed the full rotation in order. It's just starting with 90. But if that's the case, why doesn't the collision box have the same thing? The same angle is being applied. I'm printing this after we rotate it, by the way. How about printing the angle of the bullets with the angle of those boxes? Well, that's the thing, is that this angle here, this is the same angle variable that's used to render the bullet. So, I mean, I guess I could do something where, like, we STD, C out, angle, STD, End line. This is going to print out a lot, by the way. But just bear with me here. Okay. So what do we got here? We have 90, 135. Yeah, this works. This is the exact same thing. But when you actually look at this, these are the rendered angles. This is correct. It is going facing in the correct directions in the same order that it printed before. So they are using the same vector. So it's a rotation function issue. The rotate collision rectangle function. It has to be. Because it is referencing correctly. What a weird conundrum. So it is this. How about a box 1 equals and bullet 1 equals? See, developer prog. Hello. It's been a while. How you been? Oh, no. I know they're the same. They are rendering the same bullet in the vector of data every frame that we load every frame and render. That works. It's just the issue of this is the only thing that doesn't work. Try checking M collision before and after. Oh, that's kind of based. So C out, or how about this? For I equals 0. I is less than, or, oh God. I is equal to, no, you want to run this as long as I is less than or equal to 8. I plus plus. STD C out. M collision I. God damn it, brackets I, thank you. End line. Okay, and then we're gonna copy and paste this. We're gonna be doing M collision after the rotation. So it starts at north. It starts in the northern direction, assuming, by the way, nothing goofy happens. It could very well be south first, but I'm assuming it's north. So let's go. There were build errors. Why? I is an undeclared modifier. Yes, it is. Bleh. Okay. Stop. Fucking. Okay. So what's going on here? So it prints out. Oh, that's incorrect. No, this is correct. This is the every XY coordinate. So this is top left of the rectangle, top right of the rectangle, bottom left of the rectangle, bottom right of the rectangle. 2, 4, 6, 8. This is the rotation. So the rotation does stay the same, so it doesn't varialize. Oh no, it does change. Oh, because that's the second bullet. Okay, gotcha. So it does this for every instance of bullet. So this is bullet 1, this is bullet 2, etc., etc. So now we need to do some math. So this is 0.160, 100 turns into 75, 153.75. So what that means is that it rotated, because lower numbers means, well, XY coordinate, X lowered means move left, Y lowered means it moves up. So what this means is that it actually moved up it moved left significantly, it moved down somewhat. So that tells me this is the south direction. I think I might have figured it out. Oh, please do tell while I drink water, because my throat is starting to hurt this whole week. I almost kind of want to see a doctor. My throat's starting to hurt. So these two values are the same. Why are these two the same? Wait a second. Oh my God. It's rotating the same rectangle. I get it. I see what's going on. This is the original rectangle. Then this is the rotation. This is only for the collision box, by the way. Then it starts at that same angle as the end of the first one and then applies the new rotation to it. So the issue is, yeah, it's the same here. So I think what's happening is every frame, yeah, we're using the same end collision. I didn't even know that was possible. So what's the answer to this? Does standard array, this template, is that not unique per object? Oh my God, I just figured it out. It's because we call create collision box here in the load game data, which means it applies to all instances of bullet. Oh, yeah, okay, all right, I get it. So what I should do is delete that and then under the attack, create it here. Where what we want to do is set it after we set position and we apply it to individual instances of bullet. And then we change the collision angle. So we're creating the collision box every time we create a new bullet. Oh, please work. Oh, it looks so beautiful. We're done. Oh my God, we're done. It's so pretty. Oh, see developer prog. You know what? I'm in such a good mood. You guys get made and ghost together. Oh, such a, ooh, wrong button. Oh, Jesus. That was the button. Oh my Lord. What just happened? I just refreshed the entire thing. Uh-oh, hope I didn't break anything. Oh, chat, hold on. Give me them 200 bullets. Where are they? Give me 200 bullets, baby. Oh, sorry. I forgot we're C-outing everything. Oh, Jesus, that lagged. Hold on. All right, let's see how much lag there is. You know what? Hold on. That's not a good test. Let's do the real test, all right? 255. Max bullets. Max everything, okay? Let's go. Big test. Oh! We're done. It looks so beautiful, chat. Oh, we have rotated rectangles. Oh, it's so nice. It's so pretty. Is there a way to keep count how many bullets we have on the screen before we have lag? Also, we're gonna erase this draw function. Or we just keep them and just delete them. So don't render the rectangles. Okay, go. Oh, chat, it's so beautiful. Oh, it's so nice. Everything just works now. Oh, that feels good. Still no lag. It's 255 bullets per shot, chat. And it's no lag. We're still rocking 60. Oh, it's so efficient. Hold on, let's keep a real proper count here. We don't have a variable to count, but what if we do this? 250 bullets per shot. 1, 2, 3, 1,000. 1, 2, 3, 2,000. 1, 2, 3, 3,000. No culling. 1, 2, 3, 4,000. No culling. 1, 2, 3, 5,000. No culling. All right, that was my goal. 5,000 bullets, no lag. Oh shit. And we're still going, so we have plenty of room for everything else. Oh, try 500 bullets. That's a good question, C developer prog. What happens if I have higher than 255 bullets? Huh, let's see what happens. Oh, that's weird. It kind of looks the exact same way it did before. Haha. It's, we're actually capped. I did it on purpose. Uint 8 projectiles, meaning you can only go up to 255 before it overflows. That's on purpose. I'm never gonna need more than that. Oh, so it's milliseconds. So 160 is 16? Yeah. So when you see it flip between 16 and 17, that's because 60 FPS is 16.66 milliseconds. So it's bouncing between the two. But yeah, the goal was 5,000 bullets, no lag, and by golly fucking gee, we did it. Oh, we're done, chat. Oh, actually, we're not done. We need to practice resize, but still, it feels good, chat. It feels good. Okay, change that. I need to Control Z one more time. Okay, so we're gonna keep that render thing. We're gonna have 10 bullets again, but the difference is now we have to test one more thing, and that is resize. Oh shit. So now we have to do resize, and we may have to translate again before we actually translate per move. But the idea here is now we can change hitboxes to be actually accurate on a per bullet basis. Here's the real issue. This is the big one. How do you resize individual bullets every time you call an attack? Because you could have different bullets. I actually don't know. I mean, I guess you could, under the load game import, you could import the attack. Oh, I do import attack. Oh, based. So I guess I could. No, that'd be stupid. Yeah, because we have our attack Nova now. I guess we could try different attacks, like attack, wave. And now we have, I don't know, what would a good wave be? 60 degrees? And we push back. Attack wave. And then now it's on the list. So now we come over here. Instead of call attack Nova, we have call attack wave. Wave equals 1. Save. And now we shoot 10 bullets in a wave. Oh, there you go. Oh, shit. Oh, it looks so nice, chat. Look at that Toho-ness. Oh, baby. We're ready for this. Oh, it's time. The bullet object should probably have a size member or something. Maybe. The thing is that this attack function actually does everything we want. It sets the velocity, it sets the angle, it sets the position, it creates a collision box for that individual instance of the bullet. It then changes the angle of that collision box. But now we have to resize the box, and I don't really know. I guess we could resize based on the texture? Nah, that'd be stupid. I don't know, it's hard to say. Maybe resize is like some separate data that we call on, where it's like an enumerated value. I just want to close out of this, thank you. Where like, because this imports bullets, we could import, oh no, we can't import load game data, because load game data already imports attack, because we need the attack list vector. I mean, the bullet size doesn't have to be private. Oh, no, sorry. The bullet size we can already change. That's not the issue. It's the size, it's this function here, which is resize the rectangle. That's the issue. I can already change the size of the bullet here. Like if we want to make it like, you know, I mean, I guess we could have a wait, don't I have a resize bullet? How do I not have a resize bullet? Isn't that weird? Actually, why don't I have a resized bullet? Because I can change the bullet manually here and make it like just obnoxiously big. Like I already have the capability of doing that. Sleepy Mushroom, hello! Oh, your collision thing? Yeah, the collision box, the blue box that we have here. Like that I want to resize. So now, instead of instead of 10. Let's just shoot 1 bullet. So here's the current plan. Okay, current plan. Take this bullet and make it resize so this blue box is on the white. Oh, no, hold on. That's not a good test. 4 bullets. Oops, erase the comma. Sorry. Okay, so make it so all of these bullets have blue boxes where they should be, basically. Also, these bullets are too big. Hold on, we'll make them smaller. Make them like half size. I like the idea of really making them big right now. Instead of that, we'll go 90, 150. Keep the same ratio. There we go. So now the idea here is we want to be able to shrink the collision boxes. Testing for collision is going to be trivial because the only thing I care about is bullet to hero, my bullet to enemy hero. That's kind of the idea there, but it should be trivial. It's point and wrecked. You're still making that desktop dungeon inspired game? Maybe later. Right now we're more into the bullet shoot 'em up hell game, which I think is a better test of what I want to test right now. Gary, why are you riding that Chongus bullet? Because I don't know. I mean, I guess we could make it like twice as big, like 36 by 60. Maybe that's better. There we go. Sweet. So now, yeah, our goal is to shrink the collision boxes, which shouldn't be that bad, but we do need to. I'm just thinking in my head how we do it. How do we do it where we can shrink the collision boxes, but they're based on the bullet type, like pellet or cross or something like that? That's where we're gonna have issues, because right now it's all universal. I could make a new bullet and it would work just fine. But the question is how do we resize it? And if we do resize it, do we just call resize here? And then under the bullet class, we use the enumerated value up here to decide what that resize should look like. That might be what we have to do. I think you would get the center of the rectangle, multiply by some constant, subtract that from the corners. No. No. I think I'm going through the VODs to see how things started. And I'm going through the VODs. Oh, sweet. So the idea here for the resize, by the way, is all we're gonna do is just shrink it, keep the top left rectangle the same. That's all this is. In fact, we may have to use like this old delta thing, but whatever. In fact, fuck, we need to do that, don't we? So float delta x is equal to new x minus, new width. What? Why would I use that for a variable? Minus correct. This almost looks like the exact same as this. Oh, no, it's not. It's new width and height. So shouldn't it be subtract equals? You could make a struct full of the constants per bullet type. Well, right now, under our initialization load game shit, right now, this is gonna all get transferred to like a JSON file later, I'm sure. But basically, we specify where on the sprite sheet we're grabbing the sprite from. It's going to be the size of it on the screen. The X and Y is the initial placement, but that changes before it's even rendered. Then we have our rotation point, which is the center of the image, the texture sheet, the sprite value. Then we create the bullet with those parameters. So this already has all the information we need, except the collision box, which is what we need to change. So all the collision box shit is going to be exclusive to this module and the attack module that actually calls these functions under bullet to change these. Now, the question is, how do I get this new value? So the change is, it should be a negative value if we want to shrink it. So correct 0, which is the X. Oh, hold on. What am I doing here? So all we're inserting is the width and height of the new rectangle, because I don't care about translating it, right? So if I don't care about translating it, or an array of constants indexed by bullet type. Oh, it makes you wonder. Chat, we have, well, to be clear, once we make this bullet, just to continue here, we have a vector called list of bullets that we then push back every time we create a new bullet. So in this case, it's bullet, pellet, bullet, star, bullet, laser. And then that vector is not what we render. That's what list of bullets to render is for. That's a separate thing. But that is a vector containing all the bullets. So we come back to bullets. Now in that vector, we have enumerated values that are part of a class. So I can call pellet instead of 0 or something like that. And then later on, we'll have star equals 1, laser equals 2 or something. And then I can call all of them as I need them. So the idea here is we're going to have, you know, let's keep it the same here. So like avoid resize collision rectangle with some parameters. We actually do need some floats here. Oh, but we already have them. Oh, no, we don't. Yeah, we do want X and Y positions of the rectangle. Now, we already assume that if we're calling this, it's going to be from a specific bullet, so I don't need anything else as a parameter. I just need the X and Y of the new resize. Maybe, maybe not. I'm still deciding. So then actually, we probably don't even need these, but we'll come back to that. So now, in order to resize it, I need to call this enumerated value somewhere. Can I do it here? I must be able to, right? So I almost wonder if it's like a switch statement situation. Switch case for bullet ID. Oh, I hope I did this right. Case. Fuck, it's not gonna work, is it? Bullet ID enum? Ugh. Case bullet pellet. Wait, what was it? Oh, just pellet. So that's the idea here. And then we would have a case for that. I'm thinking that's what we're doing. You'll have to have a member containing the bullet ID if you want to do that, but isn't that what this is for? Could I not do that? Basically, the idea here is that when we have our attack, whoops, I did not mean to move that. The idea here is that when we call this attack, we can say, you know, set collision resize or something like that, or resize collision rectangle with like no parameters or something. And then what it'll do is it will check the bullet that's currently being rendered, which is known because this bullet is here. In fact, I could even make that a set collision angle. I guess I do that after we rotate, huh? Or after we translate and resize and shit. So bullet dot resize collision rectangle, and maybe even have a parameter of the bullet type. That way when we come back here, this is going to take a bullet type of, you know, bullet to resize. That bullet to resize is here, right? Because that is referencing this bullet class, correct? Maybe not. It really doesn't work, huh? So it needs to be instantiated somewhere, and the only place that makes sense to do that is the class itself. So like here. So like Do I have to make like an enumerated value of like a copy paste of this? Maybe store a bunch of constants for each bullet and a method that, given the right bunch of constants, turns the collision box from a general form to a bullet specific type. I don't know how much I want to do that. I feel like a better way to do it would be to just reference this. But if I export this class, can I not, or the enumerated class, can I not access that information? Oh, it's not public. Because it's a class. Even though the class is exported, that doesn't matter. Oh, that's a problem. Yeah, I don't have access to that. But I do have access to this bullet. Must have an integral or a numerator type. Integral or numerator type. So this is an STD vector. Do I have to do something like STD? Oh, I'm not gonna create a whole new ass vector every time. Bullet to resize, comma, number of, no, it's gonna be 1. The fuck? How do I reference this? Bullet ID, something like this. Oh, is it that easy? Bullet ID. Oh. Bullet ID enum. Okay, so now we have a switch case where bullet ID enum is what we're referencing. Must have an enum type. But I already gave it this specific bullet, so because this bullet is gonna be what it changes to. It knows this when we call the attack. We already know what kind of bullet we're gonna be using in that instance. So this is our bullet information. I was thinking we would do a switch case because then it would be like, okay, if we have 20 bullets, it knows exactly what to resize it to instantly. By the way, this makes no sense to begin with. The enumerator should be inside of the bullet class, not part of some other class. That's nonsense. What? Wait. This should be in here? No shot. Right? Also, thank God I never have to worry about headers and like importing them in the correct order. Ignore the red lines. This is all viable. Yeah, this vector is what we're referencing. This bullet list vector. We then pick a bullet out of that bullet list vector here. Wait, no? What am I doing? List containers, spawn bullet. List containers, bullet ID, pellet. So bullet list, bullet ID, pellet. So how do I resize it based on that? This should work, right? Enum type pellet. Do you not understand object orientation? I don't understand like IQ orientation inside my head. Try this. Inside a bullet, put enum type pellet. Interesting. So I thought, I mean, it must be, is it like a public issue? I'm not gonna save this, but this is like a public issue. No, it registers, well, because it registers this. Is it really not going to work if I do bullet to resize? Is that not? I guess it's not an enumerated value to switch on, isn't it? Oh, that's not an enumerated value to switch on. Oh, I don't want to do like a bunch of if statements though. That's disgusting. But does that work? No, that doesn't work. Yeah, because pellet's undefined, so it'd be bullet ID pellet. Bullet ID enum pellet. Yeah. So this should be, oh, do I have to bracket it? Is that what's going on? Pellet is undefined. Yeah. So even if I make this public, that's still an issue, huh? I think the issue here is I need to work on my enumerators because clearly this is like a problem, huh? Did you just give me the entire Wikipedia of object-oriented programming? Holy shit. It's like, here, read up, moron. Oh my goodness. You just want me to read the entire fucking article? Yeah, here, study this advanced concept, idiot. It's okay, it's okay. So I thought, my dumbass was, okay, we're just gonna reference this to resize the collision box. And then depending on the bullet input we give it, it would go through this enumerator. So you're saying this enumerated value should go inside a bullet. That's what you're saying. So something like this. And now, if this is equal to bullet ID enumerator bracket pellet, then do the thing. Type name not allowed. Oh, is it bullet? No, that doesn't work. Is it bullet pellet? Fuck! There must be a way to reference pellet. Come on. No operand matches. Damn. Bullet ID enumerator, that's cursed. You can then just set your names to type. Okay, just introduction to object-oriented programming is not gonna be the answer to this. So I'm totally off on the wrong track here then, huh? So this is fine-ish for now. My concern is with this. How is it then that I can resize the collision rectangle based on the instance of bullet and attack? I thought I could just grab this bullet information, call resize collision rectangle, and just give it the input of whatever bullet we give it, and then it would resize the rectangle. But clearly, that's a fucking problem. Look at it. Ugh. Introduction to object-oriented programming. Okay, I understand encapsulation, mostly. I get it. What doesn't help me is all of this. I'm sure my answer might be in here somewhere, but it's definitely not easy to find. Would you mind letting me edit the bullet class for you to something that might make a bit more sense? I mean, if you want to spoil me, but I think it might be wiser to just be like, well, how about this? Let's just do a series of yes or no questions. Let's do this. Question 1. can I reference this exported class in this exported struct bullet like functions, like this specifically? Is that possible? 2, if it is possible, does it involve moving this into this like this? Okay, so 1 is yes, I can reference that class. Does it involve moving it in like this? 1, you can, it's possible. Please, no object-oriented programming. I think in this case, it serves our needs. You do not have to move it. Interesting. So I can reference that. But, okay, so is this like a syntax issue, or is this me not understanding correctly? So we have our bullet input. This is our object we're gonna be resizing. This feels correct. So is the issue... Yeah. And then here, depending on the input of what kind we're gonna do, we're gonna put... Wait, what's the name of that function? Resize call rectangle. This is really not good name practice, but bear with me here. Where what we're going to be doing, rectangle, where we are now giving it 2 float values, which would be some value based on the X and Y of, you know, whatever. So we have float, new width, float, new height, and those 2 values will be put into this. Oh, wait, do I even need a switch? Yes, because different... Oh, wait, maybe I don't need to reference it here. Maybe instead I pass that information into this as like an extra thing and make bullet to resize equal to that. And then we return. Oh, we don't even return. In fact, we don't even do anything. We just change the M collision. M collision is going to be equal to this new value. Wow, that is complicated, which means I also need the M collision box that we're going to be resizing. Oh, wow. Okay. I think that's the answer. That feels more correct. Right? Why not call it directly? Because I want all collision calls to be in here, because we're going to be changing the collision box of this class object. And I think it's just be easier to do it this way. This is very fundamentals of object-oriented programming. You are not a true C++ programmer unless you understand object orientation. Yeah, I understand your mom's orientation. She showed me last night. BX in the YouTube chat, hello. You have all of the data at your fingertips without passing anything? Really? I can distinguish between different kinds of bullets in this enumerator. In this mod? No, I don't even need this module then. All this cares about is the box, the rectangle we're going to be resizing, and the 2 float values that's going to change the width and height. And that's all this does. Now here, we need to distinguish between different values and then call different resize collision rectangles by changing new width and new height based on the bullet type, which screams switch case. But if it's a switch case, that implies there's a numerator that goes between different values, but I would have to access this. So how do I access this? It's really all it comes down to. So it really is just a switch case. Bullet ID, bullet to resize? Is it like that? Oh, it's capital bullet. Is this like a bracket or something? Bullet ID. Bullet to resize. No? Is it like bullet ID enum? Double brackets? No. Is it dot? No. What do I do over here? It's bullet list, bracket, bullet ID, pellet. Oh, wait. Bullet list. Oh, I don't have access to bullet list. So it is bullet ID dot bracket, and it's not working. Code toil. You're not a true C++ programmer? Dude, this is how it is. He's not reading anything. He's just doing it. That's the whole point of this. No, it's fine. It's fine. Yo, hey, we are chill, man. This is fun, okay? I have no illusions of being a Netflix programmer or anything like that, okay? I am just doing this for fun because I want to make some video games. So, hey, we're all chill in the neighborhood, okay? I do know the basics of object-oriented programming. I don't know syntax. This feels like a syntax issue. You're on the right path with Switch, but you won't listen to me. Read my message before the one you just read. Oh. Think about this. You're already inside of the bullet class, so why are you passing in a bullet as a parameter? Oh, here? Because every time we call this function, the only time we ever call it is when we create a new bullet for attack, which moves it to a new vector. So the idea is we give it the bullet type as a parameter in the attack when we call it. That bullet then goes into the resize collision rectangle, because remember, we don't create the collision box until we actually create the new bullet for whatever we're doing, right? So the idea here is we create the collision box, we resize it, we set the collision angle, then we put it on the vector to be rendered for the next frame. So that's the idea. So when we resize the collision rectangle, we do so with this bullet parameter, because we can't just call it empty, because unlike create collision box, which is just based on the rendered image, this is bullet dependent, because every bullet's going to have a unique bullet box. Oh, wait, is the answer here? Oh. Do we just make a new rectangle with the bullet resize we want? We just call it bullet resize, and it's just a rectangle of any kind. We come over here, add it to the parameters, and then we access that here? I mean, I guess then we don't need to pass the bullet type, because every object will have that information. So what you would do is it already knows the bullet type because it is what it is. No, that doesn't. Oh, no, it does work, because every pellet is going to already have a collision resize size, and that's every object. I think that's the answer. We ignore this. Well, we ignore the enumerated value. Is that a better way? But it's more like JSON file stuff, huh? You already have the bullet instance. You are literally calling bullet resize collision rectangle. But the problem is, what am I switch casing then? What's the variable if I don't need to pass the bullet? What is the parameter of the switch statement? I guess that's my problem, huh? What is that supposed to be? The bullet ID? But how do I access bullet ID? Again, we're back to square one. Is it bullet ID pellet? Yeah, that doesn't work. It's not it's an undefined value. Can I see bullet ID again? I don't remember. Oh, it's this. I stand by what I said. C++ was literally made to be an object-oriented extended version of C. Yeah, I think I'm okay with it so far. Use this. What is this? Like this? This pointer. Whoa. To understand the this pointer, it's important to know how objects look at functions and data members of a class. Oh shit. Wait, maybe this is my answer. Maybe this is the answer. Bold white dragon, hello! What are you doing at the bottom of the screen? How do you guys even get down there? Here, get up in the corner. Thank you. Pass bullet ID enum. ID as a parameter, then use it in the switch. Oh, wait, is it that easy? I don't know. I'm kind of feel queasy about using pointers yet. So it's bullet ID enum. That doesn't work unless I'm spelling it wrong. Oh, I am spelling it wrong. Duh. Oh, was that the issue the whole time? I just spelt it wrong? Declared at line 9 is inaccessible, so now we make this public. Expected an identifier. I? So what's my identifier then? What's the so once again, this is now identified now that we've made it public. But now we have an issue where what's going on now? Like case pellet do the thing. ID? Oh. Must include an initializer, so we have a bullet ID enumerator ID. It's a type. It needs to have a variable declared of that type. You use that in the parameters to the function. Oh, ID bullet to resize ID. No, is it just a bullet? ID is equal to bullet to resize. Oh no, that doesn't work. A condition declaration must include an initializer. Huh? Must include an initializer. I thought I knew switch statements, but I don't. I've never like done like class in class like this. This is so weird. Thank you, by the way, for spoiling every single answer for me today. I am very lost. Is a type. It needs to have a variable declared of that type. You do that in the parameters of the function. And just pass ID into the switch. Oh! So you're saying just do... No, that doesn't work. You can't just do ID. Yeah, it doesn't work. It must have an integral or an enumerator type. Unless you're saying this goes outside of the thing. And then we have ID here. Yeah, that doesn't work. Maybe you should go back to that page about the this pointer. We'll hold off for just a second. Okay, so you are saying do that, but then we have issues with ID not being read as an integral or a numerator type. It needs to have a variable declared of that type. You can do that in the parameters to the function. So is that not what this is for? And then make it equal to bullet to resize? No, that doesn't work. Oh. No, that doesn't work. No suitable conversion. To understand classes, you need to understand the fundamentals of object-oriented programming. Oh man. That's not a parameter, that's a local variable. I thought I knew switch cases. We practiced it with enumerators and all that. Oh my god, I'm a moron. I'm so sorry. I saw it. Okay. Oh no, that's so embarrassing. Oh, I just saw my mistake. Right now you're a glorified C programmer? Yeah, for all that practices of classes in C, huh? All that struct knowledge going into the C programming language, huh? I just saw what's going on. I accidentally didn't erase bullet ID and then I put this afterwards, so I was... Yeah, okay, now I get it. So in case ID equals pellet, parentheses, thank you. I think that's how this goes. Case bullet ID pellet. That works. Okay. Holy shit. I just did it. Okay. Bullet ID pellet. Did it. Thank you. Oh my god, that was so complicated. Okay. Holy shit. So now it's new width is equal to something. New height is equal to something. And then we call this function. No, we don't call that there. It was correct to be at the end. Because now we have break. And then next case, we're going to have this bullet again where we define new width and new height. And then we call this at the very end. Oh, my God. That was so complicated. Now I understand. Okay, I'm sorry. Holy shit. Chat, why do we have bullet to resize here? Is this why you guys were saying I'm a moron for including that? Okay, I get it. So now we don't need that at all because every instance here will account for it being of that bullet type. Okay. Wow. That was so complicated. Okay. Holy shit. Why is there even a switch statement? Because what's going to happen is if we have 20 bullets that we need to get through to figure out what kind of bullet ID it is, we don't need to go through 20 if statements, you know, 1,000 times a frame, you know? We can just go through one switch statement that just identifies the bullet ID, and then it just switches the new width and new height value for the resize, and then it calls this function. Yeah, each bullet type will have a hard-coded size. But it's not gonna be hard-coded like number integer-wise. It's gonna be hard-coded based on the rendered rectangle. Also, you're still wrong. ID is in the wrong place. What? Structs are actually part of C, so I'm not wrong? Yeah, okay. Sure. And AI is part of C++ technically, when it's a Python thing. I don't know. I was trying to think of an example for C++, but C++ can do everything. So, you know. Why not have a bullet ID and its collision size in a struct and pass that struct to the function? Because you have to be super careful. The collision size is not a hard-coded number because we could resize the bullet. So what you have to do is when on the instance of making the bullet, which is calling the attack, which is giving it some range here, we set the collision angle based on that, and then we set it here, and it's going to be based on the rendered image. Because, yeah, I'm right. Create the collision box, resize it immediately, probably have to call a translate because it's only resizing the width and height, not the X and Y value. This is not going to work. Not going to work because it's bad practice and we'll find out in the future, or not going to work like this just won't do what I think it will. I care less about, you know, good practice and more just understanding, like, I don't even know if this was an understanding I feel like I did everything correct. I just didn't know the syntax. Like, I knew we were referencing this in the switch statement from the beginning. It was more so just I didn't realize, oh, you had to make this a variable. Then you reference the list. Like, everything else, like, that's where we got. It's a syntax issue, right? You'll find out in the future when it doesn't work. How much have you progressed? Quite a bit, actually. If we were to comment these out real quick. Boom. Oops, hold on. Something fucked up. Because I'm assuming... Ignore that. Ignore that. Uninitialized local variable. Oh, I guess we'll just do 0 and 0. Boop. Boop. Go. Ah! What the heck? Uninitialized variable. Oh my god. Wait, what do you mean uninitialized ID? Uh-oh, wait, hold on, what's the issue? Anyway. If I were to show you where we were at right now. Boom! And now we have collision boxes. We have it all based on where it's rotated. It's nice and pretty. Now we're just resizing the collision box to meet the middle of the pellet. That's all we're doing right now. And then after that, we're ready to actually, you know, collide shit. So why is ID breaking? It says it's uninitialized. Why? Is this where I do something like this? Is that better? And then the collision rectangle, or attack, sorry. Attack will take that as a parameter. The parameter being the bullet type? No, that doesn't work. Bullet ID. Oof. Oof. Is that what I'm doing? Wow, nice work. Thank you. Oh, now you're just buttering me up like I'm like a pair of Huckleberry pancakes. Chat, we all agree pancakes are better than waffles, right? Right? Come on. Who doesn't love pancakes? You're not passing in the bullet ID. So, is this a syntax thing? I can promise you, chat, if it's a syntax thing, you might as well just tell me. How do I initialize this? Because I don't want to make it equal to whatever we were doing here. It's not a syntax thing. Interesting. So you like them flat, Gary? Yes. Oh my God. Beautiful, wonderful pancakes. It's not a syntax thing. All right. Well, then what are we doing here? We have to make a variable for the switch statement, and it's going to be of this type. Now, how do I tell that this ID is equal to this instance of calling that function? Because this bullet is calling it. So it is this instance of this bullet for this for loop that's calling resizing that specific instance of the collision rectangle. If that's the case, how do I say that the bullet that we currently have messing around with is that? Should I call this like bullet 2? So that way we differentiate between the bullet type and the name bullet. And then we just pass bullet. Well, no, it is the same thing. It's a bullet type anyway. You can't make it equal to that enumerated value. Okay, just a spoiler alert. Okay, man, I'm 38 days into C++. I understand the basics of object-oriented programming, but the question is how it applies in this specific circumstance, okay? Saying, here's a book, go read it, is not gonna help. What's up? Hello! How's it going? How's it going? I'm very proud of where we're at. What's up? Okay, so here's what we're trying to do. Okay, so What's Up has been helping a lot, so we're gonna do this one more time for him because he deserves it. So this is currently what's going on, okay? So right now we figured out the rotation rectangle thing. It's so perfect. Oh, look how beautiful that is. Everything is rotated exactly where it should be. Now we're trying to call resizing the rectangle based on the enumerated value of the current bullet. So the idea is we're gonna have a switch statement. So every attack, we're gonna create the collision box, resize the rectangle, set the angle, probably have to translate it too. But the idea is that we're gonna have a function that does a switch statement, and depending on the bullet ID type, in this case pellet, it's gonna change the new width and height, and then at the end we call the function to resize the fucking thing. The problem is when I actually try running this, I have this issue where ID is not initialized. Or uninitialized local variable ID used. That's the problem, is I don't understand what that means. How do I make ID that instance of bullet? You clearly don't understand object-oriented programming with you not knowing the difference between a parameter and a local variable. I understand the difference between a parameter and a local variable. You need a way to have a polymorphic things that same E behave differently. What is ID supposed to be in this context? ID is supposed to represent, because under the attack function, we call a specific bullet to be, used in that call attack. And then every instance of that bullet, we're resizing its own collision rectangle. So we have our collision rectangle. We have, the problem is I don't know how to make ID. I don't know how to identify what enumerated value it is in the instance of it being itself, Do I need like a separate thing up here that's like some variable here that identifies what it is? That's where I'm kind of confused. Oh, does an instance of bullet store its type? Yes. That's the idea anyway. Because when ignore the fact that this is all going into some data file later. Like this, we create the sprite pellet and then we create instance bullet pellet. But that's not, careful, that's not what we're rendering on the screen. What we're rendering is from the bullet spawn list vector. Not that it matters, but still. So we're creating this bullet ahead of time. Now, this is called pellet. It's pushed back on the list of bullets vector. So if we go to our bullets here, this pellet contains the information of that because it's referencing the first value of the vector, which is on vector bullet list, So if that bullet list vector is this bullet being called, this bullet should know the value of itself, right? So I just don't know how to make ID check that. That's the issue. Just make that bullet know what type it is, then you're golden goo? That's the plan. That's what I'm trying to get him to do. Wait, what? Doesn't it already know itself? You can do this by static polymorphic, use a switch case, and have an ID in the class to differentiate one object kind to another. Like as a constructor to the class, or as like its own variable, like a float value. Well, not a float value, but like these float values. You have a bullet entity structure class. Okay, so I mean, I guess I could just have like another value here, which, like you say, would be int m id, which is not going to be called that. We'll just call it id. Then this is int m id, and then m id parentheses id. So now that's part of the constructor. So now, Sarah, hello there, I really like your music. Oh, good thing, it's copyright free. Riot Games, the maker of League of Legends, puts out multiple sessions that are like hours long that are all copyright free, and you can play them however much you want. And yeah, they're vibes. This is the oldest one. My favorite is called Star Guardian, but it's more upbeat than the other ones. It's this one. In fact, let's listen to it. Fuck it. There we go. Cute, huh? It's free too. Also, hi, I haven't seen you here before. Hello. Yes, pass an ID to the constructor, please. Ah, okay. I really like your Ava too. Like Evangelion? Is that my background right now? Fuck, it's Miku. God damn it. Listen, I'm not a weeb. All right, but I do like Neon Genesis Evangelion. I love the original. Okay, big fan of it. It's like every new remake of it, I just appreciate the original more and more. I also really like the first movie. Where do you store all the bullet instances? We store them in a vector called bullet list, and we do that when we initialize everything. This is all going into some JSON file later, but for now, just for our purposes, it's here. And now we're gonna have a int bullet ID. I don't want to call it that. I'm gonna call it that. Bullet ID is equal to 0. And then as part of the parameters, we're gonna have comma bullet ID. Save. So now we come back here. So now we have this as a parameter. So now, fuck all this. Wouldn't that have been cool? MID. So now, fuck that, in case 0. Now we have this value. So now there, that solved everything. It's less clean. I don't really like it, but I mean, it's doable. I mean, I guess this might be the case for an actual enumerator to fuck around with, but you know, it's a thing. I would have liked it to be automatic and just reference the same vector, but okay. I don't think virtual functions thing is suitable for this game. Dynamic polymorphism is inject. You usually don't do virtual functions for video games if you can get away with it, because it accesses, accesses the cache a little slower than a non-virtual function. I think that's the logic behind it. The only anime Gary likes? That's not true. I'm not a huge fan of a lot of anime, but I really like, what do I like? I'm trying to think about what anime I like. I like Higurashi Nunako Koro ni, the horror anime. I like that one. I like Steins Gate. What else do I like? I don't even know. I don't really like a lot of Cartoon Network stuff because I didn't grow up with it. So if it was on that, I'd probably pass on it. Unless it's the one with the girl with the halberd that I saw at my friend's house one time. That was cute. Oh! I've seen Lucky Star. Like, kind of recently. Like, maybe like 5 or 6 months ago. I watched Lucky Star. That shit was weird. That was too anime. But it was cute. It reminded me a lot of Gargura from Hololive. Why not make MID a member of the enumerator class? Why not make an enumerator class for ID? Huh? What do you mean? Wait, what's that? Are you saying, but this isn't this already an enumerator? Whatever, it's fine. It works for our instance. In this case, it's gonna be render rect dot x plus m render rect dot width divided by 3, and then the height is equal to this. What would the height be? Height is weird. It's gonna be like divided by 5. I'm imagining the pellet in my head. So if that's the case, what should happen here is this gets called. Now this works. Okay, well, let's see if it works. Okay, well, okay. So the top left of the rectangle stayed where it should be. I need a better angle. Hold on. Okay, so the top left of the fuck. Okay, god damn it. Okay, so the top left of the rectangle went where it should be, but the other 3 stayed the same. That's important. The other 3 angles of the rectangle stayed the same. Not angles, the points, but they were just translated really far away. The only difference was the resize function. That is the only difference between then and now. Interestingly, the 0.00 didn't move, but that's planned. That's expected because we didn't translate it. So this is what we have to change. So I was kind of in the middle of it before we got distracted with all that. So float delta y is equal to new height minus correct 1, which is also the distance from the top left. I think we can get away with maybe making it different from the center, probably, hopefully. Call me strange, but I really like accessing things in a local class using the this keyword. It makes it easier to read. Maybe. I've never used it before though. I'm kind of wheezy about doing something like that. That's brand new. I've never even looked at before. So now we just have a magic 0 in our code. Magic number is usually not good practice. I think many would agree. What naming convention do you use for a non-static data member for class? I still don't understand why we need a collision box resize function. Gary, do we have a use case for this? Oh, of course we do. Hold on. Let me pull up my little bullet sheet here. So this is our sprite sheet for everything in the game bullet-wise, right? So currently, we're kind of fucking around with this guy here. So the idea is right now, this is the bullet. This is the collision size, is that rectangle. This is not good practice for a shoot 'em up. The idea is that what we're gonna wanna do is actually have this be the collision size of that bullet. And I think that's a better course of action because in a bullet shoot 'em up, you don't want to barely graze the corner of a phantom bullet only to be clipped. That's how you get like, not off screening, but that's how you get some weird shit happening. So we wanna resize it to be like this. Now the purpose of that is, what if we have something like this little cross here? This is a weird one because you don't want the collision box to be this, right? Then just make the thing the right size to begin with. I want to avoid hard coding if we can. I don't like that idea. Hold on, let me get a better box here. So yeah, this is the whole thing. And then here is the hitbox kind of deal, you know? It's not hard coding, it's data. Yeah, but we're not really, wouldn't you rather just put it into a function and then just be able to call it later if you want? Like, what if we're in a situation where like, I don't know, what if we want to like resize it here and here in the same call or something weird like that, right? We can do that now. I would rather have the ability to change things just by doing I don't know, it feels better. Plus, isn't it easier to like change the new width and height on like a, well, magic number, but we'll ignore that for now. We will change that though, I promise. Wouldn't it be easier to just change things here than like go off in some random JSON file? Also, this is a good exercise for learning about rendering. Plus, if I didn't do this now, we wouldn't have known about this switch shit, okay? Well, how will you find the new rectangle though? It's gonna be in reference to the current rendered image. Is chat telling you to use a markup language? I don't know. I don't even know what a markup language is. Okay, so right now this needs changed. So it's gonna be similar. You know what I kind of want to do is I kind of just want to copy this translate shit. What is resizing a rectangle, if not glorified translate? Because it's not a translate. If I copy and pasted this translate collision rectangle, the only difference is that the X and Y value of all of the positions change on the screen together the same distance. Resize is gonna be super similar, except instead of new Y, it's new width, new height, and these are gonna be different. And maybe I can get away with resizing it. It says width and height, but maybe we can get away with resizing it and translating it at the same time and just shrink it in place. Should I should have the rotation point here then, huh? If we're gonna do that. Because if you're gonna shrink in place, you would want to reduce the distance from every XY value to the center of the rotation point. And then we would just reduce it by a set amount, right? That's a better way to do it, I think. I didn't think JSON was a markup language. Or are you exporting XML? Are you expecting XML? Dude, I'll do it in fucking Notepad if I have to. But yeah, we're not putting all of the game's data in this engine. The initial collision box should be hard data and has nothing to resize. Only when you're changing size, when bullet is in flight, then you need resize collision rectangle. Yeah, but like, I don't know how much I even like that, because what happens if you have no plans to like keep bullets the same size? Like, why even do it's not hard coding. Why even do like the initializing the thing? Wouldn't you rather just initialize when you make the initial bullet and just create everything then? Because that's how we're doing it now, is we're creating a collision box every time an instance of bullet is made, and then we push it on the vector to render. So I think what we're doing here is maybe taking the rotation point, that SDL float point, we find the distance between that and every individual point, or we just keep resize as just a resize, and that's it. I don't think that's wise, because then we're gonna have like a switch statement for like a translate, and I don't like that. Or not even that, maybe we just translate it here, I don't know. I've never heard a convincing argument against hard coding other than mod support. Yeah, that's my argument. We're able to have mods easier. I really look forward to the day you graduate to matrices. This is definitely worth learning first though. What, like linear algebra? Hold on, Paint, I'm gonna flashbang you. By matrices, do you mean like the math version where it's like, you know, like 2x plus 4y plus 2z is equal to, you know, whatever. And then it's like 4x plus 8y plus 4z equals whatever. And then you have matrices where it's like 2, 4, 2, x, y, z, 4, 8, 4. Is that like the kind of matrices you're talking about? I don't even know if I'm doing this right, but I watched an MIT professor talk about this once on a YouTube video. I think they're getting at is, does your program know how big the white part of the sprite is? The white part? Oh, no, not inherently. How does it? It's because we're going to tell it. Gary claims to be small brain at math, but the more I'm here, the less I believe that. No, I just watch YouTube videos. Chat, you have to understand. I may work at a medium security prison, but 6 out of 8 hours of the day, I am just on my computer learning shit, okay? So like this, I learned like 2 days ago, okay? Well, Gary, it's a nice problem, but do you think you need to solve it now? I think it's better if you learn more stuff and then come back and then tackle the problem. Oh, so learn about object-oriented programming. By the way, this equals 0. Just want to put that out there. No, I'm sorry. This X, Y, and Z equal 2. So X equals 2, Y equals 2, whatever. That's the answer. I don't even know if that's how you write the answer, but there you go. He's not bad at math. He just refuses to learn trig. Chat! Jesus. By the way, is there anything more difficult in linear algebra besides matrices? Is this like peak linear algebra before it's like, here's a sine and cosine and shit. Have fun, nerd. And then Mickey Mouse jumps off. It's like, you're gonna work for me when you're older, bitch. Okay. Okay. What are we doing here? What are we doing? We need to change our collision rectangle to also take the rotation point as a parameter. So here we're gonna have M collision, rotation point. We're not rotating, but we are gonna be using the rotation point as a reference here. SDL float point, comma. Okay, so the idea is now it's resized, but it should say like shrink. That might be what I rename it to, shrink or grow, which should be resized. No linear algebra is basically doing the exact same two things, but in different contexts. Oh. Trig and matrices and complex numbers are all related. Chat, what did we look at yesterday? One of you was big brained. Was it like STD complex or something? That was the coolest shit I have ever seen somebody do in C++. It was like STD complex where the parameters were like a real X value and then an imaginary Y value. And then to do it, it was like, hold on, complex number, real image or something like that. That's how it was like defined. And it was like the coolest shit, because then if you wanted to reference that, what you would do is you would have number.real and number.imaginary. I don't know if it's like image or imag or something, but like that was like the coolest thing to like ever see somebody do in C++. And I was like, holy shit, I'm never gonna use that. But it was cool. Okay. So let's think about this. If we're gonna be, hold on, let me bring out paint here. This is a function I've never done before. So if we have a point and a rectangle around it, and the whole function is going to be reducing this rectangle to a smaller rectangle in reference to this point, like that, how would I do that? Well, what I would do is we would need to get this distance. I don't need those two distances, I'm sorry. We want this distance as a parameter and this distance as a parameter, because that would tell you what you want the new rectangle to look like. You would then take whatever rectangle you're inputting, make it equal these numbers, and we would do that by getting and then shrink the distance accordingly. So how would I do that in math? This isn't trigonometry at all. This is linear algebra, I think. So we have the XY value of these coordinates all given. You don't need this width and height, even though you do have access to that information. I think what you do is you find the new XY value. Well, if you did, you would just make the new one equal to. That's what you're solving for. You would find the delta between this point and this point right here, this delta. You would then subtract it from X and Y equally. No, you would not. They have different deltas. It's a rectangle. So what you would do is you would subtract the delta X and the delta Y, and you would do that, or maybe add them. Yeah, you would add the negative value. You would do that for each rectangle. And the delta is this point to this end and this point to this end, X and Y. Okay, I got you. Done. It's memorized. It's all in my head. Just need to translate that onto paper. Why do you think that's so cool? Wait, do you not know about complex numbers either? I mean, I know about like the square root of -1, and that's it. That's all I know. Write a 3D game, then you can use quadrinurians -3 dimensional rotation along an imaginary axis. Cute. Why not draw a rotated rectangle? This is a special case. Why not draw a rotated rectangle? This is a special case. What do you mean? Gary, we just said it's related. Write a tool to scan the bitmaps and generate a width and height for connected white pixels. It sounds like you guys are just making it really complicated because not every bullet, it's too limited. Think, all right? Think game jam, okay? We want it to be flexible. We want it to be like, we want it to be, you know, we want it to be like variable, you know? We don't want to be like, look for the specific color of the pixel. No. We want to be like, bam, we want it to be flexible. We want to have a resize function that takes care of that immediately, and then we optimize. Why? Because I'd rather program quicker and then fix later. Draw that thing you just drew in MS Paint, but rotated and not aligned to the axis. Well, that's different because rotate, this does not take into account at all distance to the rotation point. I understand that it does take that into account, but it doesn't change the value, if that makes sense. What it does, it just gets the value and then rotates it around, keeping that same value. So it's similar, but we're not rotating it, so there's no cosine sine shit, you know? We're just grabbing that difference of value and then subtracting from it X and Y delta, and then giving the new point and making that equal to, you know, this rectangle, and then we return it. Don't underestimate how lazy I am. Look at Discord. Oh shit. Is it a link to object-oriented programming? Complex numbers have more uses than you think. Oh shit. Is it going to be like a 20-minute video? Wow, it is 21:46. I am learning from you programmers. I'm going to watch it in my off time. Unfortunately, I am not a React Andy. If I'm going to be streaming, I want it to be like, you know, actively programming. I can watch videos in my own time. Now, if I did this as a full-time job for like 8 hours a day, oh yeah, we're watching videos. Don't you worry about that, okay? But I only stream 3 hours a day. I might as well distill the content down, you know? Oh, are you just trying to resize it? In this function, I am. Object orientation is the opposite of what you were just describing you wanted. No, this is fine. I think. I don't know. Chat, is it... Chat, I have a question. Okay, maybe, hold on. I know I just said I was just gonna be programming, but I have a question about philosophical stuff when it comes to programming, okay? Some straight up Socrates shit, okay? Is it that bad to mix the best of both worlds for functional programming and object-oriented programming? Like, if I'm gonna use C++ in game development with object-oriented programming, is it really that much of a sin to use functional functions sometimes? Like, wouldn't the best case scenario be we just use what we find in front of us in that moment? A lot of languages do so. So if it is the case where it's okay to mix and match in certain contexts, wouldn't it be okay to use functional programming sometime? It's not bad, you just aren't doing it right. Omega lol. Ah! Even Java, so it is not bad at all? Joke's on you, I don't even know Java. I know cup of Java. Oh baby, I love coffee. I had a latte today with a pump. My two go-to normal orders at our prison coffee shop is the AIC Rand coffee shop is either chai tea with a pump of caramel or iced latte with 2 pumps of caramel because the bitterness. Ugh. Not bad. Multi-paradigm is powerful. I don't know Java either. Oh, jeez. Also, most paradigms are not wholly exclusive. Your code, from what I've seen, is just imperative orientation. Yeah, I totally planned that out to have imperial orientation. It's hard to do that, though. Sometimes they are in conflict. How would they be in conflict? Like, what's a really simple example of like functional programming and object-oriented programming being in conflict with each other? Okay, anyway, while you guys think that up, let me find the difference here. So, new rectangle is plus difference to the delta. But that doesn't tell you anything. This is the new width. This is the new height, which is the width and height of the new rectangle. But we have to be careful because this might be like a per instance thing. In fact, maybe we don't even have the delta. In fact, let's delete this completely. Let's just think about this. It should be minus point.x. And then this is minus point.y. This would be the difference between the top left of the rectangle and the x and y value of the center of the rectangle. And that would be the delta. But that's not the delta. That is just... well, that's just a line. That's just a line from the top left of the rectangle to the center of the rectangle. That doesn't actually solve our problem. We do need the new width and height. But how do I take the new width and height of the rectangle and then get the points out of them? It would have to be... it would have to be we take the width and height of the current rectangle and then subtract it by the new rectangle and then apply that delta to... that would be the x and y delta. That would find you where the new rectangle point is. And then you would add to that both ways, if it was the top left of the rectangle, to find the other 2 points. Wow, that's weird. So wait, I don't need the center point at all. Do I? If I know it's always going to shrink. Oh, I guess it could grow. Actually, the best way to program is to encode Turing machines. What, like the test monkeys do? Never write pure code. Always mix and match paradigms and architectures to suit your use case. You'll never have a pure use case, so why have a pure paradigm? I highly recommend going both functional programming and object-oriented programming, particularly in game engines. Okay, but pure functional programming is objectively the best. Yeah, no risk of recursion there, am I right? I mean, I've done very functional programming stuff like high-end and combinators, but on mutable data. My English is bad today. That's really cool. No probs. Okay. So now that I've had like a brain blast, what we should be doing is taking colrect 0 and col plus colrect top right of the rectangle would be 0, 1, 2. That would make x plus the width of the rectangle. So if the rectangle is on 20 at the top left, 80 on the top right, it would be 20 plus 80, which is length 100, which is not correct. It would be subtracting them then. So is it colrect 2 minus colrect 0? So now the top left of the rectangle is 25. The top right of the rectangle is 80. So the line distance would be 55. So that's how you would get that number. So that is the line difference between the two. Then you would subtract that number by the value of new width. And that would be your delta x. Because this is the difference between the old rectangle's width, and you would subtract it by the new rectangle's width. That is your delta x. Okay. Wait, Gary, why don't we just do this in CSS? The website programming languages like HTML? The best code is code which can be deleted. Oh, damn. I'm upset that this makes sense. You just want to code in style? Wait, why is everyone making fun of CSS? Is that like the Python of web development? So col rect. Okay, so now we need the height, which is the lower number would be on top because Y value goes top to bottom in terms of increasing. Now we want to take the greater number and subtract it by the smaller number, so the bottom left rectangle, which is 8. I lied. It's not 8. It's 6. No, it's not 6. It's... the fuck? It's an odd number. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, 7th is the 8th element. Okay, that's why I was confused. So then we would subtract it by col rect 1, which is the top right of the rectangle, minus new height, and that's your delta y. So now this needs to be added to... yeah, because it's going to subtract. So if this was 50 and you wanted a new line length of 30, you would now have 20. So it's minus equals the delta x. I think. Minus, 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 minus. Okay. Or I guess I could multiply it by -1, this number. That's probably cleaner, huh? So -1 times this value. -1 times this value. I don't know best practices. And then we just make it equal. Whoops. No, wait. It is plus equals. Shit. That didn't save us any time. It's in of itself plus that value, correct? Which is a negative value. Or it could be a positive value. Oh, no, wait, it could be a positive. Oh, no, if it's negative, then it would multiply by -1, so that's fine. Okay, let's try it, I guess. No! No! What is this trash? How? The fuck? I'm just resizing the fucking thing. Is it the order I do this in? So create the collision box, resize the collision box, set the angle. So the angle is applying correctly. The size is not correct. How does that fuck everything up? Because if I just comment out this, and that's all I do... Whoops, I just set the collision angle. Fuck! If I comment out resize, this is correct, right? Yeah, everything is correct. So something about the resize is completely way off base here. Hold Alt and then click for multi-cursor? What? Whoa. What's that do? CSS plus HTML is only Turing complete in the sense that you create a layout that if you sat there and clicked on it over and over again, it will be able to crank out any calculation that is any other Turing complete language can do. What? I still don't know what Turing complete is. Am I Turing complete? I don't know, maybe. Wait, isn't that the test to see if like something is human or robot or not? Isn't that what Turing is? Turing test? Cascading style sheets, thus my comment about style. Oh. CSS causes depression. That's why most web developers die inside? No, I think most web developers die inside because they work for a goddamn tech startup. Ugh. Don't simplify a Turing test to see if a language can be considered capable of any calculations necessary to do any math. It's the basis for any computer language? I'm assuming by any math, it's not just adding 4 billion to 4 billion. It's like, can you handle this like super high level, low level, like very complicated engineering math shit? Can you handle like 5-dimensional like addition or something weird? I don't know math, I'm sorry. It just means it can go left and right and store state. Oh, can do any computation possible. Damn, so that's like every programming language, huh? So where am I fucking up here? Why does resize goof off? Am I not taking into account the original position? So what are we doing here? This is the top right of the rectangle x value. Subtract it from the top left angle x value. That is the line of the rectangle. Subtract it by our new width. You get either a positive or negative integer. If it's negative, it's large. If it's positive, it's smaller than the current rectangle. Multiply it by -1 for clarity's sake. And then we add every x value by delta x, and we add every y value to delta y. But somehow, we go from nice and pretty and even collision boxes to, if we enable it, that disaster. Why? I am technically translating it, but it's not actually shrinking. This takes into account, oh, you know what? I see what's going on. I need an std array float 8 new rect is equal to col rect, and then we do around with new rect shit. So new rect, new rect, new rect, new rect. Go. Does that make a difference? No, it's the exact same thing, but this is probably better practice, huh? Do you resize before moving? Yes. I wish you didn't delete that test bullet we have last stream. Yeah, but now everything works. It's fine. Because we know the only variable, because we're doing this a step at a time now, eh? The only variable is that this bullet is getting resized, but it's not getting resized. It's getting translated, weirdly. Is it like the input problem? Is it like... Hold on, what are we doing this in order? Set the velocity, set the angle, set the position, create a collision box, resize it, set the angle. So the angle is still working correctly, even if we resize it. So it's not an issue with the rotation point, because that doesn't change. We do set... By set position, we do change the x and y value of the rendered rectangle. And then we do the collision box translate. So is the issue is that we're translating first and then resizing it? Is that the issue? But I have to call set position before anything else because I'm doing it in reference to the rendered rectangle, right? So we want this to be resized, or at least is set in the location it should be, which is, you know, angly. After 2 times I show you the benefit of unit testing, you're still not doing it? I am. We're unit testing a few things at once. We're being efficient with our time. Yes, you will also resize the translation. Hold on, what if I just don't translate? I know the collision boxes aren't gonna move, but at least they correct? No. Interesting. So the only difference is that they don't move, but the initial, like, making of the collision box is all kind of goofy. All that does is just updates the collision box, but it does that correctly. What are we testing right now? So the only variable is whether or not we enable this function, which is resizing the collision rectangle. That's the only difference, because this, I wish I could show you that without everything just deleting itself. Hold on. There we go. So this works correctly because the only difference is us enabling the resize rectangle, because this works exactly as intended. I don't even know if you guys can see those collision boxes that well. They are blue. Let me change them to green. Maybe that'll help. Where is it? RGB. There we go. Collision boxes are green now. So yeah, the goal is the only variable we're changing is that function, which should make the rectangle roughly equal that white spot of the pixels, you know? And that's the only difference, is that function, which kind of goofs everything up. Much better? Scale has to happen when the center of the box is 0, just like rotation. The resize function seems very wrong to me. Wait, why? I mean, I'm sure it is because I wrote it, and it's my first time doing it. What's wrong with this? I think this is okay. I mean, I'm sure it's wrong. I just don't see it on face value. It must be this part of it then, huh? So we have a new rectangle. We then have the X value and this X value, which is the line. Subtract it by the new width you want. Oh! This isn't a width of a line. This is an X value. Oh, I see. Yeah, okay, I get it. I get it. I'm dumb. Okay, all right. This is implying an X and Y value coordinate. Okay, this is super wrong. This should be like the line we want the new rectangle to be. So this is this value of where the X line starts plus this value. Okay, that's dumb. Okay, I get it. Okay, I get it. Why are you subtracting the width instead of multiplying? Because the idea is that we're taking, hold on, I'll draw it in paint. Okay. Flashbang. So we have our rectangle here, right? This is our old rectangle. And then we have our new rectangle, which is going to be a smaller, well, smaller, could be larger, rectangle inside. So the idea here is that we take the old width, the old height, and then subtract those numbers by this width and this height. The idea here is that we then apply that delta and that delta to the X and Y values of this, 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 and this to make them all relocate to there, 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 and there. That's the goal. Now, what I'm realizing as I do this is that means every corner, it's going to have a different formula for how to move these, huh? Draw it rotated 30 degrees. We've already done cosine shit. It has nothing to do with rotation. So if it needs different formulas, first, okay, that solves my problem. First, I need to define new width and new height, not as X and Y values like this, but as actual lines. So that's divided by 3, and then it should be divided by 3 plus. This should be times 1/3. Just so I understand it. Times 1/3, and the other one will be times 2/3. So same thing here, times 2/3. Okay. Although I guess I could just multiply this number by 2. Maybe not, I don't know. Okay, that is our line, and then here, we're gonna give it parentheses. This is not divided by 5, it's multiplying by the value of 1 divided by 5 plus, copy this, paste this, 4 out of 5? I don't know. Semicolon, semicolon, backspace. Okay, let's go over to this. Now let's think about how that applies. Well, let's see what that looks like first. There were build errors. Why? No matching token found. Wait, what? Parentheses, parentheses, parentheses. 1, 2. Oh, I am missing one. 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, there we go. Go. I mean, it's only worse, but that might be because of my formula. Okay, so now we have a width and height that's actually correct. So now we scale. So the top left of the rectangle will always be plus equals delta X and delta Y, because those are always applying it how I thought in my head it would work. The top right will plus minus X minus equals Y, because it's going in the, no, it would be plus equals Y minus equals X, because that's the only change, is that you're going from the right side of the point to the left side. Bottom left would be plus equals X minus equals Y, and the bottom right would be minus minus, because it's the opposite of the top one. Except I'm a dumbass and I didn't do that correctly. Plus minus, and then this is minus minus. Okay. No, I did have that right. Wait, what? Hold on. 2 and 6 are the... 6 and 7 are the bottom right. This was minus minus. Why did I even question myself? I was correct. Okay, this is minus minus. Okay, correct. All right, go. I mean, okay, that's not intended. So something... Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's a disaster. Figure out the amount vertically you move or horizontally you move. For vertical, make it PO.Y plus DH. You didn't use a point. That is the sign of your thinking is wrong. But I don't need the point. Right? Because the delta, as long as I... Because it's not in reference to the point. As long as the formulas for each point of the rectangle are different, I can manually do this, I think. So I don't even need this SDL center rotation point, right? Is this because this should be 1 times instead of -1 times? Am I doing it in the opposite direction? Nope, that didn't solve our problem at all. In fact, it kind of looks like I got all of my formulas backwards. Like we're adding. In fact, it looks like we have our rotation weird. Isn't that weird? Why is that weird? Corky Bug, hello. How are you? Do you resize from the center or from the top left? We resize from the center, but we could change it. It's resized from the center, but we're manually doing rather than doing it in reference to this. It's the same thing. You're adding the front and back values to the sides instead? Well, let's think about this then. 0 and 1 is the X and Y value of the top left of the rectangle. If we want a rectangle that's smaller than the current amount, is that currently what I'm doing? So mRender X, so the top left corner, plus the width divided by, or the 1/3 of the width, so that's 1/3 of the sprite, plus 2/3 of the sprite. Wait. Is that a dumb math statement? This is 0.1, as in 0.1 of 2. This is 0.1, this is 0.2. I can't tell if this makes 3/3 of the total rectangle, so it doesn't do anything. Oh, I shouldn't be adding render X again. No, wait, that doesn't do anything. Wait, I'm so confused. This shouldn't be here though, should it? On second thought, change the size of the values first, or are your values way too long? I think this is incorrect. I'm not even attempting to read this. It's just X and Y values of a rectangle. Point X and Y is much easier to work with than array 5, 6. Sure, but I'm dumb. So have you thought about that before you started hurling around corrections, huh? Second thought, change the size of the values since your sides might look huge because you're supposed to be scaling them more. From a higher level, what is the resize rectangle even used for? Because I want to be able to resize a rectangle. Basically, if you guys haven't seen this because you're just joining, this is our current progress on, I guess, our game engine. Look at these. Ooh, look at these perfectly aligned collision boxes. Ooh, so cool. Custom rectangles, custom rotations, sign functions, all that shit. But I want to resize the rectangle to be a little smaller. And this is my current progress. Now, as you can see, we have clearly gotten closer to our solution by resizing the rectangle, but something gives me the hunch we fucked up somewhere. Why not make a new rectangle? That's what we're doing. We're just doing it in reference to the old rectangle. Well, let's not throw the word engine willy-nilly. Okay. From a higher level, what is this used for? For doing your mom. Okay, how about this? I think the problem is this. We're adding render X multiple times. Actually, now that I think about it, we don't need render X at all. Right? Because I think what's happening is that by adding render X and render Y, we're making the rectangles huge, because as we go down, the rectangles are getting bigger and bigger, I think. I can't tell, but I think they are. And if that's the case, this should not be here, I think. And this shouldn't be here. In fact, I just kind of want to make this 1/3, and that's it. I think that's what I do. Same thing here, except we're gonna go for 1/5 on the height. Oh, actually, no, this is 4/5. Okay. That's a line. That's a line. Okay, okay, we're getting closer. Oh shit, okay. So now we accidentally made them too big, but it is correct. I just have it backwards. Okay, so now we're on a better track because I was adding X and Y too much. Blah blah times 1/3. Aren't you multiplying it by 0 every time? Blah blah times 1/3. Aren't you multiplying it with 0 every time? No, because what? How would you multiply by 0? It's a float. So. Oh wait, there was a point? Wait, what? What's wrong with this? New width equals 0. New height equals 0 to initialize the variables. New width is now equal to this value. It's not 0. It's not, we're not, just to be clear, C++, the variable equals means you're now changing this value to whatever this is. 1/3 equals 0? What do you mean? It's a float. 4/5 equals 0? Oh! This isn't fractions? You can't do that shit? Oh my god. You can't do that? Alright, well, fuck me. I didn't know that. My bad. What is 4/5? Reflected as a division. Divided by 5 times 4. Is that correct? I made a square. Equals is pronounced gets. Kevin Compile, that's that good shit. New viewer coming in, teaching me something new. Thank you. I am never gonna call it gets, but that's okay. It is gonna be a different shape than the other rectangles, so we're getting somewhere. So what's going on here? 1 divided by 3 is equal to 0.333. 1 divided by 3 is equal to 0.33. What? You need 1.0 and 3.0. Otherwise, it's an int. Oh my god. Really? So you're saying I can't do this because then it's equal to 0 and I make the whole thing equal to... Here, you know what? We'll do this right now. Hold on. So as it is... Whoops. God damn it. Insert. Okay, so as it is... Clearly, these two equal 0. So it's going to be all kinds of fucked up, right? Hold on. Oh, times, that's why. Okay, so clearly, this is all kinds of fucked up, right? So what's the difference here? So now we have giant-ass rectangles. Okay, not correct. Ugly. Ew. But you're saying this should be 1.0, 1 point, or whatever, 3.0, 4.0, 5.0. Now... Oh my god. Wow, how pedantic is that? 1.f, 3.f equals float. All numbers are by default integers which don't have fractions. You need a 0.0 of .f after the number to make it a float, or .f. The period is important. 1 point, a double, does not equal 1, an integer. So if I want a float to make it a decimal, 0.0 is what I would use, or .f. I'm assuming it'd be f, right? It does look cooler to have .f, though. Yeah, it's the same thing. Okay, sweet. How is it pedantic? Because it should be able to read my mind. Listen, all right? I'm not saying it should read my mind, but I am saying that, you know, maybe learn something from Python and just read my mind, you know? All right, back to, stop distracting me. Back to this. Okay, so clearly we're doing something wrong. What if I just don't multiply it by negative? Is that the issue here? Oh, chat, just call me a fucking god. Just worship me. Fucking nailed that shit. Oh my god, that's it. We just did it. Hold on. You know what'd be better is if we call a Nova instead of Wave. Chat, I don't know if you noticed, there's a hitbox on these bullets. Hold on, what? Syntax error, colon. Attack ID. Attack Nova? What? Oh no, it's called Nova. I was right. Oh, I deleted the bracket. That's why. All right, go. Fuck. Conversion to float. Conversion to float. Float to uint2. Size t to uint2. Colon. Attack ID. Nova. Attack list. Attack ID. Oh, should this not have a bracket on it? Is that the issue? Nope. Wait, what? Hold on. What? Oh, I deleted a semicolon. Okay, wow, that was confusing. Sorry. Oh, chat, look at this. Look at these. Oh, it's so beautiful, chat. I don't know if you guys can see it. There's a little thin green line. That's our collision box. Oh! One is an int, one L is a long. Chat, my dick is long after look at these goddamn collision boxes. They're so perfect. Oh, it's so nice. It's so clean. I'm so proud of this, chat. I'm proud of you. Look how clean this is, chat. Look at these beautiful bullets on the screen. Now we do the fun shit. Let's increase their speed here. I really should have a speed, but whatever. Let's make them like 5. Is that too fast? It might be too fast. Holy shit! Chat. Finally. Finally! Look how beautiful. This is what we wanted like 4 days ago. I've been working on this shit for 4 days and we're finally done with it. Oh my god, do we create a new bullet? I kind of want to make a new bullet. Okay, new bullet time. Okay, we'll call this bullet star. Okay, SDL rect bullet one location. Really, Gary? You called it that? Bullet star location. Let's rename that right now. Star, where would that be on this sheet? It's gonna be this sprite. I want this sprite. How do I, chat, is there a way to like highlight this and then just like grab those numbers? Is there a way to do that? Blacklight, congrats, thank you. You're new here, hi. Do you like VTubers? Oh, what's your favorite VTuber? Mine is Amelia Watson. So hold on, Visual Studio nerds, is there a way to grab this rectangle's pixels on the screen? Because it's perfect. I want these exact pixels. Can I like Control C? Control V? Fuck, that would be too convenient. Oh shit, wait, what did I just do? Scale, oh, I scaled it. So I want this bullet, this exact square is what I want. Whoops. 1 point is a double, more digits. 1 point F is a float. Yeah, I got it. I understand. I'm never gonna use 1 point ever in my life, but 1 point F is clean. I like that. I didn't know Visual Studio could open images. Same, LOL. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Hold on, let me show you my whole screen here, not just a fraction of it. Oh, they added new features. I don't know if you guys know this. Hold on. This is kind of cool. I think it was today or yesterday. Reddit.com/r/CPP. They actually made a major update to Visual Studio over this last little bit. Oh my God, flashbang. Holy shit. This. A year of C++ improvements with Visual Studio. Chat, I looked at this. Hold on. Is this as cool as I think it is? Look at this. Look at this new feature. You can click memory layout and hold on. Pause the video, please. Look at that. I want this. Isn't that cool? Hold on. You guys see this? That's cool as shit. You see like the memory layout of like all the memory. I want that. That looks cool as shit. Also, they also have include header cleanup. So if you have something that isn't needed, you click this little light bulb, go remove include, and it goes just fine. So it automatically highlights things you don't need. So removed all unused includes and it would just work. That's kind of cool, right? There's a lot of cool shit in here that they did. Create a GitHub pull request from Visual Studio. Does that mean I don't need git fucking million programs? Macro expansion visualization. Doxygen for overloaded functions. Parallel stack filtering. So many new features I don't know. Copy paste with correct indentation. File comparison window. Breakpoint groups. All-in-one search, spell checker. I don't know why you would ever want that. Brace pair colorization. Hold on, that's a feature I can enable right now, huh? Wait, colored, go. Tools, options, environment, preview features, enable brace pair colorization, requires restart. Okay. So tools, options, what was it? Tools, options, environment, preview features. Environment. Preview features. Oh, shit. Hold on. What are these? The following preview features are available for you to try. Your feedback will help us. Detect cycles in NuGet Restore. Enable build acceleration by default. Okay. Git repository multiple branch history, GitHub issue and pull request auto completions. Wait, I can just auto upload to GitHub? Yo! Load projects faster. Some features may be delayed. Okay. New Visual Studio search experience, pull request. Enables creating a pull request from within Visual Studio. I don't see any option for the coloring, so I guess it's not enabled yet? Okay, I guess not. Well, that's what's coming. I just thought that was pretty cool. There's so much new shit. I forgot what I was looking at. Looks like there's pixel position and selection rectangle width, height in the status bar. Well, fix image width and window. Oh, I can just highlight it. Zoom image to actual size. Select an area of similar color. A rectangular area. Draw a rectangle. Rotate 90 degrees. Insert text. Show or hide. Advanced. Graphics engines. Render. Tools. Generate MIPS. Frame rate. Oh, whoa. I didn't know I could do all this shit here. Oh, cool. Status bar is usually at the bottom. Now there's no options here. So I thought I could just be like, vroom, and then just like copy paste it, but I can't. It's just not letting me. That's a feature I wish they would add. I don't want to open it up in Paint. If I could figure out how to do it here, that'd be so based. Hold on, I'll just boot up my whole thing again. I just don't know where the feature is here. Status bar is usually at the bottom of the application window. No, it's not behind my fat head. No, it's not under there. All the features should be here. So do you guys see them all? No, you don't. Ugh. Basically, it's mostly over here. I just don't see any options. Because all this on the left here that you don't even see is just drawing related. It's like, you know, this stuff. Although, kind of based if you want to add like a little bit of like transparency to it, I guess. I just don't need the drawing tools. I just want the functionality of being able to just be like, copy and paste, that's my X and Y coordinates, because that would save me a lot of time. Nope, I can't use Control Z, Control B, whatever, copy paste. I can't do that. I already tried. Yeah, I can move the screen over. Hold on. So grab this, move it over there. There you go. That's the whole screen. But yeah, there's nothing here that like does it. Like I can draw a rectangle, but that doesn't solve my problem here. Kind of base though. That's the grid. That's perfect. I just wish there was a way like you could highlight it and just see what pixel it is exactly. That could do that. Show or hide alpha checkered background, animated background. No. Show or hide red channel, green channel, blue channel, alpha. Fit image width, fit in window, zooms image to actual size, drag and zoom, click to pan. Yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think there's a way to do it. You would think they do so much else, but they wouldn't do that. Like, that's such a basic thing. Hold on. Visual Studio Image Preview? Image Preview. Download this extension. Image Preview. Mouse hovers over any URL or file path. No, that doesn't work. That's not what I want. I don't want image preview. I want image like editor. Learn about the image editor. Okay. Image editor, Visual Studio is a tool you can use. Supported formats, PNG. That's what we're doing. Get started. Add an image. Already did it. Okay, we already have the graphics all set up. Choose the image format. We did it. Configure the image. We did it. Select. Drawing tools only affect the selected region. Enables the selection of similarly coded region. Tolerance. Pan. Zoom. Zoom to actual size. Zoom to fit. No. Background. Properties. Alternatively, open closes the properties window. Oh, is that what I'm looking for? Oh. Oh. So that's the map of the whole thing. Okay. Well, I know that's the image size. I wish it was, I can rotate it. I just wish that there was a way to, check this rectangle. That. I wish I could just see like where this pixel is on the map, but it doesn't enable that feature, huh? Since you were kind of don't know what a status bar is, here's the hint. Oh, that does show me. Oh, that's based. Okay, I see it. Okay, I'm dumb. Okay, I get it. Okay. So this is 174.65. Oh, thank God. Oh my God, that's gonna save me so much time. So 174.65, and it's gonna be, oh, this is gonna save me so much time. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't realize that was a thing. Man, that's such an obscure spot for it. Thank you. Oh my God, that saved me so much time. Okay, 190, 190 and 81. 190, 81. So that's 16, comma. 16. Okay, sweet. So now we have a bullet star location. Now we do SDL FRECT because they're floated point values. Bullet star size. Man, I named those variables horribly earlier. Ew. So this is the size we're going to render on the screen. So this is going to be size. We'll just go true value. Well, we'll say 32 by 32. Make it a nice big number. SDL F point. rotation star rotation point. Good job, Gary. This is going to be the same thing except bullet star size. So boom, boom, bullet star size, bullet star size, bullet star size, bullet star size. Basically, it makes it the center of the image. Then we have a int bullet ID equals 1. SDL texture. Don't need that. Already added. Sprite star. Referencing the L bullet sheet texture. Chat, I can make this like 10 times cleaner. Holy shit. Comma. And then we need the bullet star location. Comma. Semicolon. And then bullet star, comma, bullet star size, comma, star rotation point, comma, bullet ID. Oh, wait, this is a terrible idea. I should call this pellet ID. And then call this star ID. Okay. Now, all we have to do is push back. Bullet star. And when we come over to our bullets class here, we're going to come down and we're going to make a new case. Case 1. New width is equal to it's got to be the rendered image. I guess I could just check this. It's going to be the rendered image, and I want this to be the center of it. So it's 5 by 5 out of 16 by 16. So it's just going to be this 1/3. And then it's going to be this, but it's also going to be 1/3. Okay. I think that's it. I think we just did it. So now, instead of pellet, we're going to call star. All right. Let's see if it worked. Didn't work. Shit. Star. Oh, whoops. Sorry. I gotta add it. Comma. Star equals 0, 1. Okay, now it should work. Fuck. Missing a semicolon. Don't need a semicolon there. That's why. Sorry. There we go. Hey, we did it. Look at that. Chat, we are on our freaking way. Oh, this game's gonna get made in fucking no time, baby. Fucking no time. You guys all made fun of me. Gary, why are we wasting time building the fucking engine? Quote unquote engine. Because now I can do this shit. Ooh. Cool, huh? Isn't that cool? But I want to do something more. Let's copy this. Let's paste it. But this time, I want to add... How do I change the angle? I guess I could just double the bullets, I guess. Something like if... Well, no, that's not a good thing, huh? I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm just happy. I'm just happy it's done. We'll change this to 300 and make it cute. 3 times a second, let's go! Oh, chat, this feels so good. This feels so good. Oh my god, we're actually making a fucking video game. Wow, I can't believe we're finally done with that. That was a week, chat. A week to just get shit in the game. And now, look at that. That took us, what? 2 minutes to add a whole new bullet to the game? Wow, we're getting close to actually making content soon. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Okay, I'm streamed out today. All right, we're done. We're done. I know you guys are redeeming B. You get a real quick one. Buzz, buzz, motherfucker. Okay, there you go. Save it. We're done. Okay, I think tomorrow... Chat, I want to change this background. It's kind of creepy. There we go. More badass. I'm thinking tomorrow we upload to GitHub. I think a blue bee. Oh my god, I can't believe you're wiggling this out of me. There, full buzz, 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 buzz. I'm gonna buzz in your mom tonight if you catch my drift. I think tomorrow we upload to GitHub. Where... What are we working on tomorrow? It's just collision, but that's easy. That's just is point in any rectangle within a certain distance of the rendered image. Yeah? Okay, collide. I think that's what we do tomorrow, and then maybe we spend the rest of the time getting it uploaded to Git through Visual Studio because it supports that. I want to upload to Git directly through Visual Studio. That's the plan. So we collide tomorrow. We get Git done. If everything works, the next day after tomorrow, we are going to be working on parallaxing backgrounds, which is fine, right? That's not too hard. Or maybe before we even do that, maybe we actually have a way to kill the enemy. Maybe we start shooting bullets. That might be what we work on the day after tomorrow. I guess it depends how quick tomorrow is, huh? But yeah, we'll work on uploading to Git tomorrow, so that'll be fun. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good evening. Give me kisses, chat. See you tomorrow. I'm trying to wink.